0311 hours, Arctic Circle, north of Greenland. The Arctic sky was a pale sheet of darkness, the sun still hours from rising. Below, the frozen ocean stretched endlessly, silent, untouched, and deadly cold. But inside the control room at Thule Air Base, Greenland, warning alarms shattered the stillness. A radar technician froze, staring at the early warning display. "Sir, we have long-range inbound contacts at extreme altitude, speed Mach 2.4, and accelerating." The operations commander walked over, eyes narrowing. "Confirm classification." Seconds later, the system tagged the contacts: MiG-31BM Foxhounds, Russian long-range interceptors, and they were streaking toward the Arctic no-fly buffer zone. This wasn't a routine patrol. This was deliberate. 0313 hours, NORAD Command Center, Colorado. A watch officer received the encrypted alert. 2 MiG-30s moving north-northwest. Trajectory puts them within U.S. air defense boundaries in 16 minutes. His supervisor spoke quietly. "Scrambled the Eagles." The order shot across the continent. 0314 hours, Elmendorf Air Force Base, Alaska. Inside a dimly lit hangar, ground crews sprinted. 2 F-15C Eagles, call signs Polar 1 and Polar 2, were prepped for immediate launch. The pilot of Polar 1, Lieutenant Brandon Icehook Mercer, climbed into his seat as his crew chief strapped him in. "2 Foxhounds coming in hot?" he asked. The crew chief nodded. "Fast ones." Icehook smirked under his oxygen mask. "Let's go introduce ourselves." 0316 hours, F-15, launch. The runway lights glowed faint blue against the Arctic dawn as the 2 F-15s thundered forward. Afterburners ignited. Both jets climbed sharply into the freezing sky. Polar 1 airborne, Polar 2 airborne. The intercept had begun. 0318 hours, Russian Federation airspace. Franz Josef Land, inside the lead MiG-31 cockpit. The pilot, call sign Vostok 44, reviewed his mission brief. Their tasking orders were simple: high-speed penetration into the polar corridor, radar mapping of U.S. early warning coverage, test NORAD response time, no weapon deployment, no direct radio contact, and one last line: if shadowed by American fighters, continue the mission. This wasn't a test flight. Russia was probing the U.S. Arctic Shield, and they wanted to see how quickly America could respond. 0321 hours, mid-Arctic altitude 63,000 feet. The MiG-31s ripped through the sky, slicing the cold air at near hypersonic speed. Their Zaslon M radars pulsed silently across the ice below. Inside Vostok 44's cockpit, a warning blinked. Long-range spike detected, bearing northwest. His weapons officer leaned forward. "That's American radar. They see us." Vostok 44 smiled. "Good, let them." He pushed the throttles further. Mach 2.9, altitude 66,000 feet. The MiG-31 was now a missile masquerading as a jet. 0324 hours, polar cap 270 miles north of Alaska. The F-15s cruised at 38,000 feet, scaling upward. Polar 2 broke the silence. "Those Foxhounds are riding the edge of space." Icehook checked his radar. 2 long-range returns glowed faintly. Contact confirmed. They're flying hot and hostile. NORAD transmitted updated orders. Polar flight, intercept, and shadow ensure no polar penetration beyond grid 44 Bravo. Icehook acknowledged. Copy command. We're moving. Both Eagles climbed higher, slicing into thinner air. 0328 hours. Russian fighters descend. Suddenly, the MiG-31s dropped altitude fast. In Vostok 44's cockpit, entering interception posture, his weapons officer announced. They weren't here to avoid U.S. fighters. They were here to meet them. The Foxhounds descended to 48,000 feet, stabilizing. Their massive engines glowed orange as frost crystals shattered in their wake. 0330 hours. First radar contact. Polar 1's threat receiver beeped sharply. Icehook's eyes widened. "I've got a Zaslon radar sweep. They're painting us from distance." Russian interceptors never ping American fighters first, not unless they want to pick a fight. Polar 2 muttered, "That's aggressive, even for Foxhounds." NORAD immediately responded, "Polar flight, maintain course, do not lock, unless they escalate further. Icehook clenched his jaw. He didn't like waiting, but the Arctic sky wasn't done surprising him. 0331 hours, visual contact. Through the shimmering horizon, 2 tiny dots appeared, growing fast. Polar 2 reported, "I have visual. Russians inbound at high closure." Seconds later, both MiG-31s tore past the F-15s in a near-supersonic flyby. The shockwave rattled Icehook's cockpit. "Jesus, they're playing rough," NORAD barked. "Maintain pursuit. Do not disengage." The Foxhounds banked sharply, looping back toward the American fighters. This time, they weren't speeding past. They were coming directly for them. 0332 hours. Head-on, merge the MiG-31s aligned nose-to-nose with the incoming F-15s in a head-on intercept merge, closing distance at Mach 3 combined. Inside the lead Russian jet, Vostok 44 whispered, "Let's see if the Eagles still own the Arctic." Inside Icehook's F-15, "They're not turning, they're not slowing." Polar 2 yelled, "Brake, brake." 4 jets tore past each other, meters apart at extreme speed. Airframes shook, warning panels flashed, pilot heart rates spiked. This was no accidental pass. It was a deliberate Russian dominance run, and the US fighters had just been challenged in the most dangerous way possible. 0334 hours. The Russians go dark. The MiG-31s suddenly pulled upward into a steep climb. Their radars shut off. All emissions vanished. They went completely dark. Icehook's radar lost them instantly. Polar 2's IRST saw nothing but Arctic haze. Where the hell did they go? The Arctic swallowed the Russian jets in seconds. Then, a faint spike appeared on Polar 1's threat screen. Icehook whispered, "No way, they're behind us." The MiG-31s had executed a maneuver almost impossible for aircraft that heavy. A rapid climb, a tight arc, and a silent drop behind the American fighters. Polar 2's breathing grew tense. "They're trying to bracket us." 0335 hours. Russian intent reveals itself. Vostok 44 opened a secure channel rarely used during intercept missions. He spoke 6 calm words. "Americans, you are not alone." Icehook stiffened, because Russian interceptors didn't talk like that. Then, his threat receiver lit up again. A 3rd aircraft had entered the arena, but its signature was not Foxhound, not MiG-29, not Su-35, not Tu-95. It was something else, something the US had not seen in this region before. Icehook whispered, "What the hell is that?" Homer 2 replied, "Unknown radar signature, unknown heat trace, unknown origin." Something new had entered the Arctic, something neither side expected, and it wasn't Russian. 0336 hours. The mystery contact appears. Polar 1's threat receiver crackled again. Another spike, different frequency, different pulse width, different everything. Icehook whispered, "That's not Russian, not anything I recognize." NORAD patched in instantly. Polar flight, confirm unknown contact, coordinates encrypted. Polar 2 responded, confirmed. 3rd aircraft, no known signature. Speed subsonic. Altitude 39,000. Trajectory stable. That last part was unsettling. Stable while the MiG-31s executed aggressive maneuvers. This aircraft wasn't intercepting, it was observing. 337 hours. Russians break radio silence. Vostok 44's voice suddenly came over international emergency frequency. "American Eagles, maintain your distance from the 3rd aircraft. It is not part of our patrol." Icehook's blood ran cold. If Russia didn't know who it was, then who did? Polar 2 muttered, "Something's wrong, man. Russians don't admit confusion, ever." Both Foxhounds dropped to a defensive spread, abandoning their aggressive posture. When Russian interceptors become cautious, the situation is no longer routine. 0338 hours. Visual on the unknown. Icehook banked left, catching a faint silhouette through the Arctic twilight. What in the... It wasn't a typical aircraft shape. No wings, no stabilizers, no heat plume, just a dark, smooth object gliding silently across the sky. Polar 2's voice cracked. "That thing's not flying. It's drifting." The shape had no conventional motion profile, no aerodynamic aerodynamic services, no contrails, no vibration signature on IR. It moved like a buoy on water, as if the air was holding it up. 3:39 hours. All sensors fail, one by one. Radar, dead. IRST, static. Threat receiver, blank. Navigation, jittery. The F-15 cockpits went eerily quiet. Icehook slammed his console with a gloved fist. Everything's down. This is impossible. Polar 2 shouted, whatever that thing is, it's jamming us without janning us. It made no sense. There was no noise, no interference spikes, just silence. A kind of technology the F-15 had never experienced. The MiG-31 pilots panicked. Vostok 44 yelled over open frequency, all Russian systems compromised. We are blind. Repeat, blind. This wasn't an attack. It was suppression. Total, absolute suppression. 0340 hours. The object moves. The unknown craft shifted, slowly, turning its flat underside toward all four fighters. Not threatening, not evasive, just watching. Icehook whispered, it knows we're here. Polar 2 added, and it's showing itself. A terrifying thought settled over the American pilots. Whatever this was, it wanted them to see it. 0341 hours. The departure. Then, without acceleration, without banking, without thrust, the object simply moved upward. Not climbed, not ascended. Moved. It shifted vertically like an elevator rising through the sky. Icehook blinked. What? How? The craft passed 60,000 feet, then 70,000, no sonic boom, no heat wake, no turbulence. Then it vanished. Instantly. Not faded, not shrank, vanished. All four jet cockpits lit back up like Christmas trees as their systems rebooted. Radar returned. EW returned. Comms stabilized. Polar 2 gasped, what the hell did we just see? 0342 hours. Russians retreat. Immediately, the two Foxhounds didn't wait for orders this time. They broke off, diving toward Russian airspace at maximum speed. Vostok 44 transmitted one final message. Americans, we are not enemies today. Then the channel died. 0345 hours, NORAD, emergency directive. Polar flight, RTB immediately. Debrief level Omega. Do not discuss visuals on open frequency. Icehook's voice was a whisper. Understood. Returning. 0422 hours. Classified debrief. Thu Air Base. The F-15 pilots sat across from intelligence officers. A recorder beep. Described the object. The officer said. Icehook exhaled. It wasn't flying. It wasn't maneuvering. It wasn't Russian. It wasn't ours. And it shut down everything near it. The officer's expression didn't change. He simply clicked his pen. Was there any sign of propulsion? No. Wing surfaces? No. Control surfaces? No. The officer closed his notebook. We've had similar reports. Icehook's eyes snapped up. Then the officer left the room in silence. 5-10 hours, Pentagon, secure channel. A single-line classified report was generated. Unidentified aerial anomaly. Arctic event observed by US and Russian fighters. Silent technology. Non-ballistic movement. Non-atmospheric behavior. It was filed under the highest internal security tier. Only 7 people would ever see it. The F-15s were back on the ground. The MiG-31s returned to their base. The Arctic sky went back to sleep. No media reported the event. No government acknowledged it. But one fact remained. For one brief moment above the North Pole, two rival nations faced something neither could explain, and whatever it wasn't done watching.